Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the ST Podcast. I'm Jack Millington, and joining me this week, as usual, as ever, is Mikey Turtleneck Jumper Keating.
Yeah, alright, mate.
Too bad, thanks. How are you, Mike?
I'm alright. Quite tired. But for once, I've turned up before 1:30.
I know. He showed up at 12:10. He's 10 minutes late, but he's getting there. Getting there slowly.
Just need to tweak that engine a bit.
We've got a lot of mad stuff to talk about this week.
As ever.
I might as well call it Loose Women this week. The amount of times that women feature in our stories this week is mad.
Okay, loose women this week, guys.
I'm going to talk about the eyeliners. It's my fun thing this. Yeah. All that crap that women tend to talk about. I spent most of the day a lot long ago realising that even though I know a lot about women, I don't know sod all about women.
I know fuck all about women.
Not one man knows a single thing properly about a woman.
And they seem to know everything about
It's funny. Like, before we get into our stories, you heard of the app called Time Hop?
I've heard of it.
And it shows you, like, if you sign in, so you got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that.
Oh, is that the one that takes things like 4 years?
And it takes it from like that day in time.
Yeah.
And I got a time hop this morning, and it's amazing how time goes so quickly. There was a picture of me on it was a university visit, like a 3-day visit thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, no way. And it comes up and it says, this picture was taken 4 years ago, and I sat there and I was like, was that 4 years ago? I thought that feels so much longer than 4 years ago. I sat there, I was like, no way, is that 4 years? I thought it was like a picture of me as 15-year-old with a guy called Richie, Swindles, and Mike, 3 other people.
Not me.
You weren't in a university there though, so you know.
But I'm just stating that for people that don't. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm amazing, but I'm not that amazing. Right?
But I think it's
Was this the time before you were graced by the one Matty Morris?
This was way before then, yeah. This was about 3 years before I even knew who Matty was. That's why, because when it first came up, before the photo loaded people, I looked at it and there was a little status thing, Matty and Mike trying to look hard, and I was like, I won't be that Matty and Mike, can it? And I thought, no, I won't be that. And the picture I was like, oh, yeah, and I remembered who it was, and I thought, it couldn't have been them two, because they didn't know each other at the time. And it was funny, because a few months ago, there was another picture that I was tagged in, and it was 2 years ago, and I was working at St George's Hall for the college. And I looked at it and thought, no way, that only seems like yesterday that I took that picture, no way. It's mad how time works in such a strange way. Yeah. You think it's longer than it was, but it was shorter. And then
it ends shorter
when it was longer. I sat there, I was like, wow, it was 2 years ago, and I just think, I have not changed.
It only feels like yesterday that I was sitting there, like my first day on Woodchurch Road, and then you being...
That feels like such a lifetime ago. I can remember it
clearly. Yeah, I remember it clearly, like, as it was yesterday. But it feels like 20... Like, stupid... Like, it's like a good 10 years now, mate.
It is 10 years.
That's how weird it is. It's 10 years to the day.
Well, near
the contraception of the S team was born. In some respect.
Well... This is just saying allegedly partnership was formed.
I've seen that on the thing. What was it? What was it you said? Jack asked this new lad, Mike, does he like cars? He said yes.
Yeah.
Friendship was grown. It was like a friendship.
Friendship was started.
Yeah.
But it's mad, absolutely mad. Gonna move on to stories this week.
Story time. Yeah. Okay.
Like you still got the mentality of you did 10 years ago, but we're gonna get into this.
That's what makes me amazing.
Essentially, Women's Week here because it is. Because I thought rather than talk about flipping business or politics and boring crap, because it's too early to talk about politics anyway. So. You've obviously everyone's heard about Adam Johnson.
Oh yeah.
And
it wasn't.
It's absolutely this story. It split people down the boundary because obviously he was arrested yesterday or the day before, saying that he was allegedly slept with a 15-year-old girl, and apparently he's been suspended because of the because of the investigation and what had happened. And I was looking at they found out. Do you know how they found out about this to begin with?
What?
It was apparently that he was arrested because the teenager boasted about the relationship, and her father found out about what had happened. Now, at first, the way it was being shown, it was like the father had boasted about it, but apparently it was the teenage girl who did it and boasted about it. Oh, I slept with Aston Johnsons and stuff like that. And there's been one photo that's been allegedly of this girl who's been flying around Twitter. It's gone now because you know how quickly social services and security like to get on top of that thing because it's underage. I looked at this girl and I thought, she's 15. I don't know how she's got into an 18-year-old club, apart from the fact that she looks like she's 20. And a lot of people have been having a go at Ann Johnson. Obviously, this every time this happens, it gets split down the middle. Some people support
the footballer,
and then other people support the girl.
I'm actually a star, and then
and for once, I feel like it's happened so many times now. It's thinking you can't. You know, a lot of people say you can't keep blaming the victim anymore because you know it's happened to her and she was underage. It's like at the same time you can't blame the you can't blame the guy because if they found her in a nightclub, 18 plus only. If she's gone, oh, I'm 18.
It's the bouncer's fault.
It's bouncer as well, yeah. But if she's 18 years old, if she's saying she's 18 years old when she's 15, she's lying. You know what I mean? You can't expect. You know, if someone says who's 15 and who's 15 and they go, oh yeah, I'm 18 years old, you're most likely gonna believe them. Especially with the picture, the way that she looked. You know, the picture that's been thrown out there, and it looks. You know, especially she does look like she's older than 18. So I mean.
Yeah, but it's also going to be like that, say, if you've had a few drinks, you know what I mean? Because, let's be fair, when say if I met someone and they said, oh, I'm 18, I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. You don't believe it. But if I was drunk and someone went, oh, I'm 18, and they looked it, I'd go...
And she does, if that's the picture of her, she does look like she's not even 18, she's 20. You know? And... I mean, Gus Poyet had to face all the media this week.
It's not.
And for the kick-off, I feel sorry for Adam Johnson. I feel sorry for his girlfriend because, you know, apparently their relationship is fine. They're saying that it didn't even happen. Which, if that's the case, then it's just another one of those stories where bull crap's. Yeah, it just wants a bit of money. That you know, I hope that's the case because to be fair to Adam Johnson, I like Adam Johnson. I think he's got into trouble in the past and everything, but I've always liked...
He's got responsibilities, he's a good player.
He's captain of Sunderland.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Yeah.
I know he was vice-captain at some point.
Look at this point, he's got what is it, a little girl? Oh.
I think he's got a kid, yeah, I don't know.
I know he's got a kid, but I don't know if it's a girl or boy.
Don't know.
That's the last thing you want on your plate, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Being, like, someone saying you've done that. And then...
It's a hard one to call.
Yeah,
it really, at the minute, it's a hard one to call.
I'm mixed on both accounts.
I feel...
But I'm swaying more to support them.
Yeah, for once. Yeah.
Usually, I support the victim because...
Yeah. Because after what happened with Ched Evans and all that, it comes down...
that is fucking wrong. So, at a massive level.
That is wrong, but that's not something we want to talk about now.
Yeah.
Because,
No.
Ched Evans has served his due in time. Let's move on from that.
Still
Still wrong, but he's served his time. Let's move it on.
Well, he just get a job in fucking Mackey's, mate, because he won't be getting a job in football as well, not for a start.
But I for once, I'm actually going to side with Adam. Alright, I just think that I mean, I know a lot of people are saying, but everyone keeps blaming the victim. And what about the football? It's like, yeah, but you can't just always look at it like that. You've got to look at both sides of the coin. That's what's been happening lately in different sports. I'm going to tell you about that later, actually. But all I'm going to end it on is this: we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm in Adam Johnson's corner. If it ends up being that he did know, then I'm
fair enough. We'll be honest. We'll actually put hands up apologising now. But it's one of them. bouncers at fault. The club owners at fault.
Mm.
Because effectively...
Don't know where it's happened though yet.
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. Bouncers at fault. So they want him fucking sorting out.
Sort that out.
That's wrong.
But if if she looked 20, you know what I mean.
I've walked into bars in Liverpool, right? I walk in, literally, if you walk into like,
I know there's a lot of
bars and a bouncer's on the door, they'll go ID.
Yeah, they do in Liverpool. I don't know what it's like down there.
No, but still, that's what it should be like in every club.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the middle of fucking a desert or obviously there's no deserts in the UK before you say anything. Even if it's halfway up like some mountain in Wales or something, you should always have a bouncer on the door.
So what you're saying is, on the door to Mount Everest, the entrance, you go, "You 18 lad," and he goes, "Yeah, go on, lad."
Got you there. You got your ID on you, mate.
Yeah, I've got me poppers and me peppers as well.
It's that. You got your ID on you, mate. He's got loads of gear on. No, mate. Well, sorry, mate. Can't let you pass through.
Okay, mate, to climb.
Tough shit, mate. You gotta go the other way.
Just go through the other door on the 18s only.
So it's like a wall, just a wall all the way around. Like you go halfway up a hill, like quarter of the way up, and he goes, "Thanks for visiting Mount Everest. Have a safe trip back." Fucking avalanche.
I don't think we've ever had that avalanche in this country. I think about it.
Probably in Scotland.
I doubt we've ever had an avalanche.
I doubt it.
We might have had a mini one, but I doubt we've had a big one, like they do in Canada or Alps or something like that.
Switzerland, though.
Yeah. But I'm going to move it on for more women.
Yeah, I've got more women's stories as well.
I know. It says here that, and this is quite good actually, to be honest, because this is something I've always wanted to know about. Large firms soon will have to reveal differences between the average pay for male and female workers under a change of law that's happening through Parliament at the minute. Firms with more than 250 employees that don't comply with the new rules could face up to fines of £5,000. There's the first problem, that's not enough. Secondly, large firms employ more than 10 million people in the UK. Just 5 have published gender pay figures under the current voluntary approach. First things first to those 5 companies that have published their pay figures. Well,
hats off.
Hats off to you.
Yeah.
Well played. Well, because you didn't,
didn't have to do it.
Didn't have to do it, but they did, and just to show people. And from what I'm aware from those figures, men and women are exactly the same, which kind of comes to the point here that all these companies that are hiding away pay their women less than they pay their men.
Or the other way around.
It could be the other way around. That's fair point.
See,
actually. It could be.
Yeah.
But
because we're not sexist on the ST.
No, we're not. We're not. But I do very much doubt that, because there are still some old dinosaurs in the workplace that still think women are inferior to men, which is not the case anymore.
Because women can do, but in some cases do better. A lot.
Women do a lot better. I think women. Let's put it this way. If I were just to slide a bit of my personal information in there, on my course, there's more women left than there are men. Kind of says a lot, really, about.
Is that why?
And it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that I didn't even hear what you said, so I'm just going to slide over that. I will listen to that on the way when we're.
I'll tell you in a bit.
But it kind of says a lot, really. Now I think all those businesses that if some of them haven't published them, but it does turn out to be that they're equal pay, then fair enough. Some people are a bit funny about that, and they don't like revealing their pay wages compared to other businesses. But I can't wait for the fact that when companies refuse to do it, and it turns out that they've been hiding their figures, they're going to get such a barrage of.
Can you imagine if
comments.
It's like a massive company? Can you just imagine the find? Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 45, 76.
You'll be having women's marches, and what's the not Sabbath boycott of the business and stuff like that. I guarantee that'll happen. I think and like Mikey said, we're not sexist on the S team here. If a woman does a better job than a man, she should be getting paid exactly the same amount.
Or even more in some cases.
No, I mean, I'm all about equal play, you see, so, if a man does a job and a woman does a job,
but obviously if that woman's got more responsibility...
Obviously bonuses won't be included in that.
Yeah.
Because bonuses are obviously depends how well that
It depends
person works.
what business you're in.
Mm.
Like sales and stuff, it's certain things like how much you sold, margin, like what you made. It's weird.
You sold 20 pencils.
You get
a penny.
a penny a pencil.
I was actually trying to do my Aku voice then. I couldn't pull it off properly. I'm still working on it. But you remember Aku from Crash Bandicoot? But I'm not gonna go. I was trying to
nerd moments.
But I just wanted to bring that up on our women's podcast. Well, it's just main story.
Can we just call it the S-Team Women's Podcast 1?
Oh.
I think we should, you know.
I've got one last thing. It's funny actually. 3 of the 5 main stories this week are about women. One of them's got women and men on it. The other one is about...
Make it 4 out of 6.
Oh, God. Do you want to do yours then? Because I don't mind. I don't mind sliding this one in afterwards.
As you may or may not know, Jack, today is National Women's Day.
Women's
Day. Same fucking thing.
No, it's not.
The poor, yeah, all that shit.
It's not even plural.
I don't. My head's not working.
English A levels.
English, sort of GCSEs. Haha.
What did you get in your GCSE?
What?
What did you get in your GCSE? You can tell people. People don't really care.
Well, I do.
You do. Alright, fair enough. You do. Go on then. What's your story?
As you said, National
Women's Day.
Fuck off. National Ladies' Day.
Yeah, say that.
Yeah, just basically today they're commemorating women in, say, like sports, all that sort of thing.
I seen a cracking tribute to Pat Moss actually about this.
I was
just
to say,
jump
funny
in.
enough, Pat Moss.
Yeah, I did say. If anyone doesn't know who Pat Moss is, Pat Moss was Sterling Moss is probably the best driver never to win a world championship.
And he was British.
And
see, you can't beat him, can you?
She used to do. She was more into rallying, really. She's a cracking driver, quick as hell.
Did you know she hated cars from a young age? Like, she always hated, cause she wants to be in an Escorian, is it? Yeah, the horse riding and stuff. It's something like that. Yeah.
Events. I don't think that's
and apparently Sterling Moss went to, here you go. Took her to Silverstone and went, there you go. Have a go. And apparently she took to it like a bird to, a duck to water, as he says.
A fly to shit.
As we say, yeah. And, yeah. Apparently, from there, that's what started her thing with cars.
Mm.
What was it? She did
Monaco Rally.
Yeah, she
won the women's event of that
in a Mini Cooper.
Which obviously we're not going to talk about the Mini Cooper, but it kind of speaks volumes. She did mainly rallying more than anything else with her co-driver. Forgotten her name.
Anne Watson.
That's the one. And did you see the part where they were talking to her about it?
No, like I was looking at the BBC this morning, and it was like the full on new article.
I watched the video of like what she'd got up to, and she was driving an old when Fiat were back in the World Rally Championship and stuff like that. And I was watching it, absolutely fascinating watching it, because I already knew about Pat Moss anyway, but to find out what she'd done, not just alongside, you know, supporting Sterling's career, and I knew she had a single-seater career as well.
Yeah.
But she was more successful on a rally side. I think
yeah.
You know.
She said though, like even Sterling Moss said, he reckons if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have been able to do what he did, because his mum wanted him to do that horse riding and stuff.
Yeah, they did.
But the minute she came along, he was like, "Yeah, do what you want." That's what opened the door to road racing and stuff for Sterling. So I'm going to say one thing now. I'm going to thank Sterling Moss's mum for doing that.
Okay.
No, because look at it this way. Wasn't for Sterling Moss, you'd have no Jensen Button, no Lewis Hamilton, no British hope. We would. Domination.
Yeah, we would.
You'd have Jack Millington.
The thing is,
Matty Morris.
Sure, Sterling Moss inspired a lot of drivers, but no one ever. That's the word enough. No one was ever
overwhelmed.
what's the word? You know how like people look up to Senna and they look up
inspired
to, you know, Jim Clark and stuff. No one ever really looked up to Sterling Moss because he was overshadowed by the fact that Mike Hawthorne was the man who won Britain's first ever world championship. Beat Sterling Moss by a point to that world championship. And everyone looked at him because he was... To say he was a gentleman playboy would be the perfect way of summing him up. Blonde, dashing looks. You know, everyone remembers him. But the thing with Mike Hawthorne is he died young. He died not so long after winning the world championship because he retired from F1 after he'd won it. And then died in a car crash like 4 months later. That's how, you know, everyone remembers that story.
What's his name? He was rivals with Thingy
but
in the 80s.
To spin it back onto women.
What's his name?
Lauder.
No, the other one. Lauder's viral. The Playboy. What was his fucking name?
Hunt?
Yeah, no, but that was like that sort of life, was it? He was like...
No, he was more of a gentleman about it. But he was still a playboy in a sense.
No, but you see where, like,
yeah,
that sort of... Yeah. Oh, okay.
But to spin it back onto women, because it is International Women's Day. Sorry,
it's the ST Women's podcast today, so...
Well, just this bit.
Next 25 fucking minutes as well, but carry on.
A study has been found about women, again. Love these studies.
Oh.
As we always do.
Yeah, the British
clever
study.
girls lack confidence in science and maths. Now, this is not to say that they're dumb or anything. Obviously, by the title, it's clever girls. And it says, girls still lack confidence in pursuing high-paid careers in science and technology, even when their school results are as good or better than boys, says an international study. We didn't need a study to figure that out. We've always known this, to be honest with you. Although there's a bit of I like we said before, I think women should be allowed to do whatever they want. I think there's a lot of
I think there's a
lot of gender bias towards men when it comes to, let's say, certain jobs. Engineering's one in particular.
It's not.
No, not that type of engineering that you do. I'm talking about engineering in terms of computer engineering, chemical engineering.
No, thing is,
when I talk about computer engineering, one of the I can't remember what university it was. I know it was in Liverpool, but it wasn't John Moores.
Hope.
They did
no,
probably would be Hope.
Well,
who goes to Hope? But
Edge Hill, sort of like that.
I don't know, but
right.
I can't remember which one it was.
A quick one.
But it was found that out of all the people who did computer engineering course for last year, first years, have a guess how many girls there were on that course?
1.
Spot on. Spot on. Honest. One girl out of about, I think it was 70 odd class year. That's mad, isn't it, when you think about it? It's just like, when they were talking about the colleges that were thinking that were going to be doing these courses at university, said, yeah, there was about 30 or 40 girls in our courses who got higher grades than the boys. Which kind of, which doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but it's one of them, when you say the whole chemical and engineering stuff, more girls are coming into engineering. Because when I was in college, there was 1 or 2 in the mechanical side, in welding and stuff. And that goes into sort of like the chemical, because that's something you've got to look after. It tells you like refrigerators, bit sometimes the mechanical parts can go on that, you've got to swap them, aircon units, obviously welding, machine, that sort of places.
I have no idea what you've been talking about for the last
when you
30
say
seconds.
Women in engineering,
I don't mean engineering in general, I mean
no, but that's what I'm trying to say. When I was in, don't get me wrong, I went to one college. It's probably different around the country. Some colleges more women than fellas, or obviously no women.
In my college, it was definitely that, more women than boys.
No, but
I think it was like by a marginal percent. But
do you see where I'm getting off though? But the whole.
This
and then I went into the motor vehicle side.
This little thing here, though, from these are statements about UK's teenagers' confidence in maths. And it says here...
Do you speak about confidence in general, or just...
This is just in maths, because this is where it comes from.
Oh, okay.
I often worry it will be difficult in maths classes. This is the first statement. Boys 39%, girls 56% agreed with that. Nervous doing maths problems. Boys 20%, girls 33%. Final statement. I worry I will get poor marks in maths. Boys 49%, girls 66%.
Yeah.
That's a strange one. It's a strange one.
It's one I usually think it's the other way around, don't you?
No,
from the school.
I think I personally believe, in some sense, I do think teenagers' hormones has something to do with that as well.
But at the same time,
because and I say this in the nicest way, girls, you do worry about more things than lads do. That's a known fact.
And I worry a lot.
You worry a lot.
And I worry a lot.
Which is why Mikey is being part of the first organisation outside of the NHS to take part in the first gender transplant operation performed on Mikey.
What?
What are you on about? You were now known as Michelle.
Jack, what the guys in my coat's doing? Okay, Mike, hold still. What?
I was going to talk about two stories, but instead I'm going to talk about one because
the interlink.
It wasn't about interlink. I was actually going to talk about MH370, but
that's just...
there was a little report that had just come out saying that the reason why they might not be able to find it is because it could have been driven by suicide from the pilot, which immediately sparked anger from the loved ones of the people that died on the MH370 flight, as per usual. But what one of the reports said was that parts of the aircraft that have been found were found near the pilot's home island, not far away from there. That's all I'm going to say because I haven't got an opinion on this.
That's something we'll have to go through for next week.
Might not even be next week because not next week, not 2 weeks, no. I think maybe when it comes to the year anniversary of our podcast, I think that's something we'll have to revisit.
Because that was the first.
Because that was the first thing we ever spoke about. So we also
we'll have to try and get a certain member to come back for that year anniversary.
We'll have to get Moggy in as well.
Oh, for the year anniversary.
Yeah, we'll have to get Moggy in.
Sounds dead gay, doesn't it?
The thing is, do you know what's really convenient as well?
What?
The year podcast comes round at exactly the same time Project Cars comes round. And what I was going to do is I was going to bring Matty in anyway to do a review with all three of us about the game, which is a perfect time to do it. And for the fact that it comes around on the year anniversary of the podcast, it's a perfect moment to try and get all four of us on. I think we can try and do that. But speaking of cars anyway, business news. It is about Aston Martin, so that's not too bad.
I've got one about cars anyway to speak about.
Yeah, I've got an F1 thing as well to talk about before we even move into weird news. So, as Andy Palmer, the man who's just took up the chief executive post of Aston Martin, has come out and said straight away they're unveiling a new strategy for the company. It says that the Aston Martin was facing a slow demise because of the way that the brand had been building cars, which is kind of true to be honest, because in its 102-year history, would you believe it's been going for 102 years, Aston Martin has sold, have a guess how many cars they've sold over the years?
Not even 1 million.
No, it's not 1 million.
500,000.
You're going with 500,000. Final answer. Locked in.
Yeah.
This is only a rough estimate, but because it obviously figures and numbers are a little bit different, but it says here Aston Martin has only ever sold 70,000 cars. How amazing is that for a car company that's so famous,
so renowned for its quality,
has only ever sold 70,000 cars in its lifetime? Pretty impressive, to be honest.
Well, no lots really.
It says here a new strategy was needed for the era, and it's got two pictures, funnily enough, of Connery next to his DB5 and Bond next to his DB10, and it says they were with because they didn't have a chief executive for about 18 months until Palmer took up the post last year. It says here that they're trying to bring in, because they got 500 million now of new investments in making cars. It says there will be new models, there will be a refresh of new existing models. The company itself, and this is one car that I'm particularly looking forward to seeing them build. They're bringing back the Lagonda, which hasn't been made for about 30 years.
Nice.
Which is going to be an interesting car. They're making an all-electric four-wheel drive car called the DBX.
No, they're getting it.
Okay, I can understand that. It's a hybrid. Okay. I could say. I'm all for hybrid energy, but it's got to be done right. Mikey's got his hand up.
That is career suicide. I'm sorry, you can't have an Aston Martin with an electric battery in it, powering that.
It says
you can't do it.
The thing is, though, is
you can't do it.
And he's made I in some respects agree with him. The company needs to change.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
Look, right.
Build bigger engines.
No.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously they've come up with the Vulcan, the Aston Martin Vulcan, which is their circuit-based racer car, which I'm loving the look of.
That's gorgeous.
Only making 24 of them, would you believe? They've also got the Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT3, which is essentially another track version race car.
Why don't you just bring back the DBS?
But I was going to say this.
Vanquish.
No. I was going to say this. For Aston Martin, what was the last great car that they made? Not good, great. Apart from the DB9, because the DB9 was just something that's out of this world.
DB7.
No, because until its last years, it wasn't really.
DB5.
How long ago was that though?
60s was good.
40, 50 years ago. When was the last great car that they made, apart from the 77 V8 Vantage? Let's put it this way: from the V8 Vantage from 77 to now, excluding the DB9, what was the last great car they made? DBS wasn't a great car because of its price tag was ridiculous. That's what stopped it from being a great car.
Other than that, it was a great car. It was a good 20, 30 grand cheaper.
It was 50 grand more expensive than the DB9, and it didn't do as good what the DB9 did. So I'm sorry, I can't class that as a great car. And he's struggling.
I'd say the 90s Vantage. That was a good car.
It's a good car. It's not a great car, though, is it?
That's the thing.
It's not a great car. When was the last? Apart from the DB9, there hasn't really. The D.
Oh no! I know. I've got it in my head. What? I can't. I think it was the 7. Basically, you had the Jag, and the Aston. They looked the spitting image of each other, and people would buy the Jag one, take the Jag badges off it, and put Aston Martin ones on it, and re-register it as an Aston Martin.
I know what you're on about, but no.
It's one of them, though, isn't it?
And that's why the company needs to change, because they come up with classics. Absolutely, there are some epic cars. Lagondas were good cars. I've always liked the Lagonda, but when you think about great cars Aston Martin ever made, DB5, obviously anything that was to do with their racing era when they were successful, they're obviously allowed in. DB6, that was another great car. It's not as renowned as the DB5, but it's such a nice car.
The DBR, that was nice.
The DBR9, that's a race car.
That was fucking good.
No, not great though, is it? Aston Martin V8 Vantage, great car. The 70s one. Big fat thing with a V8. I loved was the fastest production car of all time when it came out.
What was the one on him?
80s, 90s. I can't think of anything from 80s, 90s that even sticks. DB7 GT was almost a great car, but
Live and Let. No, not Live and Let Die.
I don't know.
Tomorrow, Never. No. What was the one with Pierce Bronson and Hal Berry? He's in Cuba in that.
Yeah, that's the Vanquish.
I love that car.
Always liked it, but I just don't think it's a great car.
I thought
it's like. And Top Gear summed this up perfectly. They did a race test between Vanquish and the 430, or was it the 360 Bonnet, and they both agreed that the Ferrari's a better car. Yeah. But they'd still have the Vanquish because they liked the Vanquish. And that's the thing, really. That's the thing. It's like DB9 was the last great car I think that Aston Martin have produced. Sure, they've had the DBR9 and DBS, and the DBS race car that they had, and a couple of other cars. But I mean, the Vulcan looks great. I hope it's a great car, because then I can go, well, I'll put my hand up, Vulcan is a great car, but... That's why they've got to do something different. That's why, in some sense, yeah, okay, I can understand. I wouldn't want to buy an Aston that's got an all-electric, power and all that. But if they want to start competing against Ferrari,
BMW, Porsche, but to be fair though, the fact they're doing that,
stuff like that,
they're jumping into the whole new supercar area, because understandably, as we know, we've got the McLaren P1 and the Porsche Carrera. Is it the Carrera? Is it
918?
918, whatever.
918 and the Ferrari LaFerrari. These are now known as mega cars.
Mega cars. Them three so far. No, can't forget the Merc.
Which one?
It's an all battery Merc. You can only get them in lime green though.
No. Mega car is a different term. It means an even bigger step than a hypercar. Never mind flipping.
Oh, is that classed as a hypercar? Is it?
That's the sports car, really. To be honest.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, what's the fourth?
I'm about to get onto that. Actually,
was it the McLaren 650?
But you had car news that you no, they're still supercars.
Oh,
Nowhere near.
That was quite nice to be fair.
You do your car news.
Our favourite spring events, Jack, of the year. When it comes to the motoring. The Geneva Motor Show.
Oh, of course.
Some of the cars that were revealed last week. Quite interesting. But you know one that caught my eye quite a lot. And for a man that hates these cars quite a bit, I actually put my hand up and said, that's quite good looking. I've always liked the Focus RS a little bit, but the new one has caught my eye so
He's
much.
Come round! He's come round!
I love it. It just looks so nice. Like, I don't understand how it's took Ford so long to listen to people and to get that boldness. It's like...
Oh, I wouldn't say boldness, I'd say...
No, not boring, but the way of, it's distinctive. It's literally like I'm trying to think how to say it. You know the difference between a certain model. That's what I like about some car companies. That personally I can't really say, oh, that's what I like about the likes of Vauxhall. Because let's be fair, everyone looks the same. And then you get to the VXR and then it's different. But with Ford, each model has a different item. Even if it's the littlest of things, you notice them.
Well,
it's
like the Ford Mondeo looks like an Aston Martin from the front because of the grille that it's got.
Or the Fiesta. If you look, it looks like the Cinque, was it? Like the shitty one. The grille on it. If you
I don't even know what car the Cinque was.
No, the Cinque. It was like the little. It looked like they called it the fridge magnet. It was like the little Aston Martin hatchback thing.
Oh, the Signet.
Yeah, that's the one. But the thing I love, like that, I don't like. I like the 09 Fiestas around there. Then he went into like this new phase, and I didn't like it. But now they brought out this new Z-Tech S model with the EcoBoost.
Z-Tech Pro.
Get this, it's got EcoBoost turbo on it, 1 litre.
Yep.
And I want one.
Yep. Do people now understand why my love for Ford is so strong?
But I'm stuck between that and the
I still see Ford as a British company though, not as an American company.
Because it's all...
Yeah, because that's all I've always...
Designed in Britain, built in Britain, dominated in Britain.
I'm just going to mention briefly, there's a cracking thing where it says, our 10 favourite new cars, cut from Wired. First one, I'm not going to say the first one because I want to bring up that later. Second car that they've got here is the, and I actually agree with them on this, Porsche 911 GT3 RS.
I haven't seen it. Have a look.
It's only got the back end.
Wow.
I don't know what, I've seen the front. And
that looks like a thingy off GTA, that. Do you, if you look carefully...
Like the Comet, yeah.
No, not the Comet. Like, do the way you go down the... I'm trying to think. It's like... Do you know like Matty's Corvette on GTA?
Mm.
If you look closely, if you put a wing on it, like the way the light is, it's the back of that.
One car that they're saying that they're looking forward to is the Audi Q7. I'm a bit like that with the looks on it.
I actually like the Audi Q7s. That's the one.
I'm a bit like that on the looks, but it's an e-tron diesel plug-in hybrid that can cover 35 miles on electric power. But
not getting it.
if you combine the two, it covers 876.1 miles.
Let's have a look.
This is the look of it, and I'm still not sure about the looks.
Don't like it.
I'm a bit like that. I think it could be one of those cars that will grow on you either positively or negatively. It'll be one of them.
It depends on. It's one of them. It depends on.
However, it can do 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, so that's a positive.
Okay, we like that.
The Aston Martin DBX. This is what I was talking about.
Well, let's see if it's nice.
This is the all-wheel drive GT concept. That's just the back end. Looks tidy.
To be fair, that
looks tidy.
It looks a bit like the Mustang. A little bit. But I like it.
The DBX is a long way from production though, so we don't need
Please, Aston.
There's a car that's come out by... Oh my days.
You're just going to show me the picture and then the pain?
I can't show you the picture of the outside body of the Rolls-Royce Serenity, but just look at the interior on that.
Oh.
That's the interior. And Mikey's now reading...
Chinese silk covers the interior on with smoked... Wait, let me just say this. Smoked cherry wood, bamboo, and inlaid mother of... What the f...
Let me just put it to you this way, people. Unless you won the Euro Millions, you're not getting that. Inlaid mother of pearl, pricing runs well over $1 million.
Yeah. Do you know,
probably just under $1 million.
Do you know when you open the Rolls Royce, the Shadow?
No. I've never opened a door on a Rolls Royce.
No, have you seen the Shadow?
Yeah.
Right, if you open the door on the driver's side, there's a little button you press, and it injects a brolly. Right, and do you know how much that brolly is?
Don't know.
£1,000.
Yeah.
That's the most expensive brolly going.
Obviously, Mikey's already mentioned it earlier. The Ford Focus RS. Look,
it's good. I've just got to see it again. I've just got to... I can't see where they got it.
Ah!
No, I seen it from like a lower angle, but that I reckon. See
where 315 horsepower, people.
See where the headlight is. It makes it look evil. That's what I like about RSs and STs. No, but you know when it's lower. You know the way they've got it sloping.
And this is what it's got an all-wheel drive system that can exceed. And this is what I think is quite impressive. 1G of lateral acceleration. So basically, you can go, I'm an F1 driver! 1G's quite a fair amount, to be fair. I mean, obviously you can...
Could that be a possible Godzilla trying to kill it?
Number 7, we've got the, essentially, Mercedes Maybach Pullman. I've never liked the Maybach, but one thing I do like about it is the interior of this new Pullman.
Wow. Okay.
Although the only downside is the length.
Yes.
Have a guess how long it is.
Real 20 feet.
Ooh, 21.3.
Oh, that was actually...
That's longer than the range Woonie. I'm not even joking.
That's a 1.5 range Woonie.
Obviously, another car that we've already mentioned, the Aston Martin Vulcan.
I've always seen little pictures of him.
That's the... oh, hang on. That's the picture there of the Vulcan.
Wow.
It's a racetrack car only, though, which is a shame, but if you won the Euro Millions, it could be a car for you. Number 9, the McLaren 675.
I've heard about this. I've never seen a picture of it, though. That's the thing.
Only 500 of them will be built.
Wow.
Looks not too dissimilar from the 650, but still nice. I've actually sat in a 650, which I was well.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Do you remember that car show last year? 650 was there before you showed up. I got to sit in it. I also sat in the Jag, the Delta Integrale.
I sat in the Jag. I sat in... What else?
What one, though? Did you sit in the newer Jag? Because I sat in the XJ220.
No, I didn't get to sit in the XJ.
Fuck you.
I went to try and sit in the Bentley. The GT3 one. I went to sit in it the other day. Could we help you, mate? You alright with me sitting in it? We can't do that, mate, because you're not insured. It's how much is the insurance? Like 20 quid for 5 minutes. You went, nah, mate. It's that much. Let's just put it this way, it's both of our wages put together. And this is like the head engineer and his mate. I was like, oh. Okay.
The final one, the final car that I think, honest, it is a swan song of this. It's not the final car that we're going to be talking about, but the final car on this list. The swan song of it all.
Just show it before you say it, though. Because it'll be quite...
No, I want to talk about it.
Suspense is killing me.
Okay. I really think it's a swan song. To a car that I know that you've never liked.
For fuck's sake. There's me thinking he's going to go, the Kia Capanto 2000, like, it's going to be like a supercar and all
that. No, it's the...
Didn't they like the what?
The Bugatti Veyron La Finale, and I looked at this car. And I've never been a big fan of the Veyron, but I look at this La Finale version and go, looks nice in that colour scheme. I think it does.
Oh, the Bugatti. It's a souped up Lamborghini.
Is it? Fuck.
It is.
Now I'm going to talk about the one car that's been making head waves. And this is the car that I believe would not only kick the McLaren P1's arse, the 918's arse, and the LaFerrari's arse, but every other supercar ever made.
It's Godzilla times 2. It's 2 GTR engines.
No, it's Mikey.
It's
Mikey on a pedal bike.
Yeah, boy. With a 10-minute head start.
It takes you what? Let's say you're doing a mile long drive. It takes you 10 minutes to do a mile on a bike. That's slow.
No, but like say I'm going
I can run a mile in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, so can I. But I'm just trying to say, do you know, like.
That was a statement. Let's find that out. Him Mikey on a mile in less than 10 minutes. I call bullcrap.
Yeah, give me a pint and I can easily run it.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna give you some figures here before I show you the picture.
Don't tell me what car it is.
I'm not gonna tell you. Petrol electric.
Oh, what is it with the petrol electric? I don't like it straight away.
Single speed mega car, because you can't call it a hypercar. 93 to 155 miles an hour in 3.2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
You're pushing me buttons now. Okay.
What's the car the most ever horsepower? I think it was a Hennessy Venom has about.
Well, that Ferrari's got 1200.
It's 1200. I think there's was a car out there with 1400. This has got. Oh yeah, 1800. It weighs not so much more than over the ton.
Oh.
It's from the crazy people that we've all loved.
The Japanese.
5 litre V8. It's like, flipping hell, are the Japanese going to do a car that quick? Last time they did a car that quick was the LFA, and even that wasn't quick.
The LFA and the GTR, the V-Spec or the Nismo.
The base price of it is 1.2 million.
The Yanks.
It's not the Yanks.
The Canadians.
Not the Canadians. Although, a quick word about the Hennessy Venom, they've just brought out they're bringing out the F5, which is trying to hit 290 miles an hour. So we're getting close to the holy grail of 300 now. But,
trying to think.
I'm
looking at Europe.
We are looking at Europe.
Not the Italians.
It's not the Italians.
The Germans.
Not the Germans.
Don't you dare say the French.
No, when was the last time that the French came up with a The Venturi was the last supercar they ever made. And that was in the 90s, so.
The Bugatti's French. Anyway, please.
This is just a quick picture before we go back to the car. No, this isn't the car, this isn't the car. That's the Hennessy Venom F5. Oh. Just thought I'd briefly show you.
That actually looks quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me it's not the Spanish.
Like the what car of Spanish have? Seat. What have they got? Leon. The
Polish.
Are they Polish? No.
I don't.
How are you struggling? Crazy people who've always been near the top speed figures. If we're doing top trumps, they're always right at the front. It's not the British.
Oh, that's good.
Actually, when's the last time? Last time Britain were at the top was the XJT20. So.
No. 1995, another car in F4.
Yeah, 94,
245. Who's mad? The Russians.
Think Scandinavian. If you don't get this, I'm just going to tell you.
My God, not Spiker.
No, I love Spiker though.
They are good cars. Go on.
Swedes. No, it's not a Volvo. It's the other crazy Swedes.
Koenigsegg.
Koenigsegg.
Yes, go ahead. I love Koenigsegg.
And this is the Regera, and I think it's flipping stunning. It's got 800. It's got 1,800 horsepower for a car that weighs about 1.3
Jack,
tons.
please leave the room.
No, that's the back end of it. I love the back end as well. I'm having a crisis.
Hey, Jack.
It's also got one of your favourite things, scissor doors.
Wow.
I say scissor doors.
Suicide doors, they call them, don't they?
Suicide door. I think this car is going to be
amazing.
Yeah, the electric motor gives it 700 horsepower. The V8 gives it 1,100.
Why not have a V12 in it?
It's got a V8.
Why not a V12 though?
0 to 62 takes 2.7 seconds.
Why not a V12? More
have a guess how long it takes to get to 255 miles an hour.
Well, 10 seconds.
Don't be flipping stupid.
Slower or faster?
It's got to be longer than that.
25 seconds.
20.
Jesus.
So let me just put it to you this way, people. The amount of time it takes to make a quick cup of tea doing tea, sugar and milk, you'll be doing 255 miles an hour by the time you finish doing that.
Like, excuse me, dear chef, can you please make me a cup of tea? Very good, chef. How long will you be here?
This is going to be a long...
Approximately 21.9 seconds. Go.
It's like when I'm trying to make a quick cup of tea when Match of the Day's coming on.
She wants out like your butler. Oh dear chef, you don't mind making me 1 cup of rosy tea, do you? Very good, old sir. How long will we be home, sir? 20 minutes?
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what the Hennessy Venom F5 comes up with though. 290 miles an hour. You're getting close to the holy grail of 300. When that car comes round, and I reckon Bugatti will be secretly working on a 300 mile an hour car. I reckon they'll be sitting there going,
no.
There's obviously a Bugatti Challenger called the Acalone, which I think is one hell of a looking car. But I can't remember what the name of the company is, but it's not a well-known company.
It's scary if you go back 10 years now.
When you say 10 years, you say 2005.
Yeah.
Fastest car in the world at the time was the Bugatti Veyron.
No, but you go back 20 years.
1995, that was the F1.
Yeah, but you sit there, most cars hadn't even got past 200.
Well, there were a smattering. There was about 8.
No, but that's the thing. Not a lot of cars have. Now you can name at least nearly 2-3 cars from each country that can easily do that.
Can't do it in Britain.
You can't?
I mean, let's say from 2000 onwards.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Not today's market. You can go through the history and go, well, 3 there, 3 there, 3 there, couple there, maybe a few there, 1 or 2 there. Do you know what I mean? You can literally pinpoint, obviously in the Spanish, like, not really, no. You just rub them off on the map. Like,
I'm gonna.
Then everyone else.
I'm just gonna make a quick mention here, people. This is gonna be quite a long podcast because I'm looking at the amount of news that we've still got to go through, and it's quite
interesting.
Quite.
Oh shit! Where's my cup of tea? Oh fucking hell!
It'll be cold now, mate.
I know fucking won't.
It will.
Stay with me.
50 minutes. Cup of tea. That'll be cold.
That's actually quite warm.
The cup will be warm. The tea.
Lukewarm.
Yeah. I'm on it. Your tea. Quick bit of F1 news because it's important. We've got to talk about it. Magnussen replacing Alonso in Australia. What are you trying to do?
We start on my birthday. It starts.
It started on your birthday last year.
It's gonna start again.
Yay! But yeah, because of Alonso's injuries, from what happened in the testing crash, we still don't know anything about that, and I think it's a bit funny.
He said he didn't even know what happened. He thought he was.
I was going to bring that up actually, and I'm just going to say this: all those rumours flying around saying that he didn't know this, he didn't know that. Let's just ask him. Let's just ask him. That'd be so much easier, wouldn't it? Rather than saying this, that. We haven't heard anything from what Alonso has said. As soon as Alonso says it, we'll know whether it's true or not. If it turns out it's not true, then we can move on from it. If he says it's true, then we've got to find out what actually happened in that crash. Because JB was talking about it, he said, the figures looked odd, the data when it crashed. He said, it was a very strange accident to have. everyone's been trying to compare it to Maldonado's crash that he had last year in Spain. And, well, Alonso wasn't the only one to crash at turn 3 during testings. Carlos Sainz Jr. did exactly the same thing.
Is that the new one, yeah?
That's one of the new drivers.
He was quite promising, to be fair.
Yeah. But I think if it turns out that, I still think it's a very weird crash to have. But I've done, I'm not trying to compare F1 to a video game, but I have crashed exactly the same way on F1 2013 in exactly the same.
I had to go for a cup of tea.
Spun off and hit the inside wall.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just thought I'd say that, people. Obviously, Manor F1, they're going to be there. Manor, not Marussia. Marussia, what the hell was that? Marussia. It sounded like you were going to go, my name's Cher. But Manor are going to be there. They've got Will Stevens. Don't know who their second driver is, though. We will find out in a few days, because obviously the F1 starts next weekend. So just come to think of it, from this time next Sunday, the race will be done.
It's scary, isn't it?
So I'm just so happy now that the F1's back.
Well, guess, this is the funny thing. It's my birthday on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like practice, isn't it?
Practice is always on a Friday, which means I'll be up at about 4 o'clock in the morning watching it.
I kind of doubt I'm going to go, Jack, I'm coming over to yours.
No, you're flipping not.
I might stay up. I'm actually going
It'll be on Sky, though, the practice, so I'll be streaming it somewhere.
Send us a fucking link for it.
If I can find one.
Then qualifying Saturday.
Which always shown on the BBC.
Do you be alright if I come watch qualifying Saturday?
We're doing a podcast on Saturday, yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. The race Sunday.
No, race is Sunday, no.
Oh.
I get to have a chance of watching Australia on my own on a Sunday. I'm taking that.
No, come on, but we did last year.
And it was terrible.
It was
because you just spoke all the way through the race, and I've never been so annoyed in my life. It was flipping awful, people.
Okay.
So I'm not doing that this year. Oh wait.
Okay.
I'm going to move it on though, because weird American news, and it kind of is weird, this. And I've put the story into weird American news because. Did you hear about Harrison Ford?
Nope.
Oh, sit down then.
I'm just looking how gorgeous this Hellcat looks.
I did tell you about this last year.
Okay.
On the S-Team Award ceremony.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, people, had a plane crash, if people didn't know. Yeah, he was in a plane crash, would you believe?
When?
This week, actually.
Oh.
Yeah,
right.
He was flying a... Let's see, what type of plane is that? It's an old plane.
Yeah.
1942 Ryan Aeronautical ST3KR. And one of his engines had failed. So Harrison Ford had... And Harrison Ford was about, let's say, if he wasn't as... Actually, I'll get to that in a minute, but... He couldn't make it to an airport anywhere, so he had to land it. Guess where he landed it?
Where?
On the 8th hole of a golf course. He had no choice but to land it there, and they said that while they were dragging him out, and he was a bit battered and bruised, obviously, because of what happened. Yeah. He said that, one of the experts said that, if he hadn't been so good at flying the plane, he'd have died. And he said, because of his skills, and... he knew exactly how to land the plane so that, alright, he might injure himself, but it wouldn't kill him. He would have died. We could have lost Harrison Ford, people, this week.
We could have lost.
We could have lost Indiana Jones. No, Indiana Jones, fuck Han Solo.
Bring me Solo and the Wookiee.
And it said,
Ed Mowers, sorry.
The injuries sustained aren't life-threatening, and he's expected to make a full recovery. Said that the man who witnessed the crash said he initially feared the pilot would have a very serious, very tragic injuries after the plane dropped like a rock, apparently. I just think it's amazing that a 72-year-old man who compires a plane like that and go...
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
You know who it is. It comes up like, yeah, spliffing.
Fug life. As he's getting dragged out of the plane.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, because like there was fuel leaking and everything at the time when he landed it, apparently it could have exploded into a fireball. It didn't, fortunately, but well played.
Played Harry, lad.
Well played. I hope he makes a recovery because he's obviously in Star Wars at the end of the year, so I can't wait to see that.
That'll be a good one, to be fair.
Now gonna move it on to some weird news in France, actually.
Oh, God.
I say France because, as you know, France and Italy are the world's best winemakers. We can't deny that. And the Spanish.
And the Aussies. To be fair, the Aussies actually make quite nice wine.
The only problem is their naming of their wines is like
Jacob's Creek.
Get fat, mate. Or what's it got? The Dingo Baby. Aussie accent's getting better, to be honest.
Can you imagine that? Alright, mate.
What do you call this one? Shrimp on the barbie. What's you call this? Gold Coast. What's this next? What's this white wine called? White wine. The Timmy Cahill special.
Oh my God, that'd be fucking hilarious. Can you imagine
what's this black one called? Black wine. Oh, it's gonna be called the Queen's a Bitch.
The baby Guinness, yeah.
Pommy bastards.
Gotta love them fucking Irish, aren't you?
Your Aussie accent's awful.
I know.
But apparently you get wines that are like hundreds and hundreds of years old and they're supposed to be amazing. And someone opened a even though this was tasted at the University of Bordeaux, it was actually comes from the American Civil War wine that was taken from a ship that sank in 1864. It was a grey sort of wine, and the nose apparently was a mix of terps, sulphur, and it tasted like petrol and crab with a hint of citrus. Apparently, when it was opened, it tasted so bad that the wine was essentially a room-clearing mix. Which just goes to show that the Americans can't do wine. About 50 people bought tickets to see the wine decanted and tasted during a food festival. I always wanted to go to one of those food festivals. It was one of 5 sealed bottles recovered from the Mary Celestia, an iron-hulled steamship that sank during the Civil War in 1864. The boat was leaving Bermuda with supplies for the Confederate States when it struck a reef. Huh.
Beautiful.
So yeah, here's a tip: always buy wine from the Italians,
Or the French,
or the French,
or the Aussies.
Fuck off, mate. Mikey loves my Australian accent because it's one of the few that I can get absolutely spot on.
I'm fucking blind to you, mate.
You're Irish, honestly. Yours is such a generic Irish accent.
There's nothing wrong with that, mate.
It's Now, people, gaming news, because amazingly we got through that section in about 20 minutes, maybe 10. And it's a sad day, actually. What the fuck are you on about? Sorry, people, we've got a lemon in the room. Why are you laughing? I don't even understand why you're laughing.
I don't know. I just all I said was the top of the fucking morning day, and for some reason decided to start laughing at it because I thought it was funny.
You're weird. You're really weird.
Oh my God.
I'm not a PC gamer. I will make that fairly clear now. Obviously, this week was a big week for PC gaming, so I just thought I'll slide some of it in.
No, I know what you mean. The death of Max.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, actually. People, the death of Maxis. Maxis, oh my days.
For those who don't know, Maxis was
the people who were behind the Sims games.
If it wasn't for Maxis, let's just say, what we wouldn't hear is
I'm not being funny, but I hated The Sims. But I do understand how many people have loved those games.
You know. I actually loved it.
Hated it so much with a passion. They were founded in 1987, became a division of EA in 1997, and they very slowly but surely turned into probably one of the biggest gaming obviously the last big game that they came up with was Sims 4, which came out last year, I don't know how big of a success Sims 4 was, to be honest with you. I don't think it was that big.
I don't think it must have been, because...
Let me just bring up the figures from Sims 4, actually, but it's a sad day, when, Sony and a couple of other game manufacturers are sort of leading the way forward with the way that games are being developed, and actually Sims 4 was successful. It sold 1.1 million copies worldwide, but it's a mad day when Maxis gets shut down and you just see some of the ones that are overtaking it now, Sony, as I've mentioned. But remember all those big stable gates we used to have, all those big names back in the
Studios,
90s and late 90s, early 2000s. Let me just put it to you this way: do you remember Activision?
Yeah.
When do you think the last time? What was the last game that? I mean, the last big game that they made
on their own without having to get someone like Treyarch, Infantry.
The last big game that they really made.
Early 2000s.
I'm just looking. The True Crime series, they did that. Everyone loved True Crime. That was such a good series. Such a good series. And they brought back Spyro for his PS2 free adventures.
I remember Spyro.
They did the last part of Crash Bandicoot, which we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
But really, the only games that Activision do nowadays are the Call of Duty series, really.
Call of Duty series and thing.
But
as well.
the last game that I'm looking that they did separate from the Call of Duty series that was a success was Blur. Blur was the last game that they did. That was 5 years ago. Mikey hates it because he can't win. Let me just put it to this, people, and I know I've said it many times before, but Mikey doesn't like games that he can't win at. Same story with Split Second. Blur's everyone accepts as a cult classic game. Same with Split Second, but Mikey won't agree.
I agree. Split Second is a good game.
Blur's a great game. You just don't like it.
Blur is shite.
Do you want me to tell you what the? Do you want me to tell you what? Do you want me to tell you what the Metacritic scores are of this?
No.
Because this just proves it.
Listening.
8, 9 out of 10.
No,
Mike.
not listening.
Which kind of goes to prove people.
What?
That
1.2 out of 10. Oh,
8 and 9 out of 10. Which kind of proves to Mikey that he knows fuck all about flipping games.
Well, if I had a job in the games industry reviewing games, I probably would have a fair opinion on it.
You probably would like it.
Yeah, but the fact, instead I decided to work in sales for a living, in which I know, well,
Mikey can't say what he's going to say in case he gets sacked. Last thing I'm going to bring it on, people.
If anyone's there who reviews games, please,
don't get in touch with Mike because he doesn't know.
No, go ahead. I've always wanted.
Out of the 90 odd people that listen to us a week,
yeah,
I very much doubt that one of those people is someone that we try and look for when we go, so if you're in this business or that business, I very much doubt that anyone's going to be in game developing.
Why not?
I very much doubt it.
Well, I don't. The internet is a magical thing.
Right, people, let's slide it over into racing games that are coming out this year. Thought I'd mention it because there's a couple of games in here that I wasn't even aware of coming out in 2015. First one, I'm going to do it from bottom to top because these are from popularity. The ones that people look forward to. There are 14 games here. One of them's in 2016, so I'll include that.
Well, because it's
number 14, you've got Jet Car Stunts.
Never heard of it.
Didn't know what it was. Obviously, if people didn't know what it is, let me just sum it up for you. It's jet cars doing stunts. Number 13,
No shit.
Number 13, a game called Formula Fusion, which is kind of like a spiritual successor to Wipeout. Kind of looking forward to that. Number 12, Riptide GP2. You know those sea shark things? Those what have they got? Jet ski racing games that you used to have back in the day. They've done one of them, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they've done with that. I won't buy it, but
we'll see.
It's a game that I'm really
interested.
I'm interested in. Number 11, I will come back to because it's a game that I'm really I'll mention it. Screw it. This is a game called Distance. This is a survival racing game, and I will put a link into the trailer for the trailer people. But it, someone summed this trailer up perfectly. It was a beta gameplay. You race. I can't even. It's so hard to explain.
Well, that's a start, mate. You race.
You race in a car. Would you believe?
Wow. So we're getting somewhere. We've got 4 wheels, a steering wheel, and a guy that drives. What the fuck exactly do you do?
It's so mad to explain it. But Distance is a game. It's a sequel. It's a spiritual successor to a game that came out that I can't remember the name of because I wasn't even aware that it'd come out.
Wow.
But
fucking great, aren't they?
This Distance game, it looks like it's going to be fun, and it makes a change for a racing game to be fun. You race through it's like sort of a Tron style. It's designed like Tron. You ever seen the film Tron?
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm not big on it though.
Love Tron film.
I fell asleep.
You're weird. And
that was on
you sort of race through it looks very slick, and you race between gaps and other drivers and stuff like that. And you can do specific modes like stunt modes and drift modes and stuff like that. But the one thing that I love about it is the racing mode of it. And you're racing against, I think it's 6 or 7 other cars, and there is an online for this as well. Mm-hmm. And you race through, and there's these sort of shapes and things that come across the screen. You got to sort of dodge between and stuff like that. And if you hit them, it slices the car in half and stuff like that. Looks really cool, to be honest. You can only watch the trailer though for it to understand what it's like. So I will put a link in, people, so that people see what that is. Number 10 that's coming in is Ready to Run. Don't ask me what it is. Haven't got a clue.
I'll let you guess. You've got to be ready to run. Away.
Number 9. Number 9 is a game that I didn't even know what was coming out. Yeah. Sebastian Loeb's got a game coming out. Rally Evo, it's called. I watched the development diary for this a couple of days ago. Wow, it looks like it's going to be one hell of a game. It's got over 60 odd rally cars, classic cars and new cars, and I'm thinking this could be a big rival to another game that's coming out later this year. You know what that game is, don't mention it though, because we will get to it. Number 8, Carmageddon Reincarnation. Flipping hated that game as a kid.
Next.
Sorry, that was number 7. Number 6, WRC5, I've mentioned this a few times already.
I'll be quite interested.
WRC5 is going to be a really...
When's that coming out?
It will always be autumn, because that's when rally games come out. So, WRC5 is coming out later this year.
I might get
Also, rumours of Dirt 4 coming out this year is mentioned. It's not in this list because it hasn't been officially announced. Also, rumours, and I'm really happy about this, there might be... And this comes from Matt Neal. This is where the rumours have started. Matt Neal said, was with the Codemasters guys today, really looking forward to the 2 games that they've got coming out this year. Now, if people don't know who Matt Neal is a touring car driver. Could they be about to bring back the touring car games from the 90s? Because if they did...
Mikey Keating in the MG.
I don't know what I'd be driving. It'd be probably, no, I'd be driving the Proton. I would be driving the Proton.
I'd be driving
MG shit with his little British flag. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
No, Vauxhall Insignia.
What are you driving, Mikey? I'm driving Vauxhall. What are you driving, Jack? I'm driving the Proton. What are you driving, Matty? I'm on the bicycle.
No, what are you driving, Ma? Peugeot 206. Okay.
Number you could also drive Rob Holland's Audi S5.
That's nice.
I don't know what this year's is going to look like though. So
yeah.
Number 5, Ride, which is a game that's coming out this month actually. It's a motorbike simulation racing game. Like simulation racing, motorbike. I always love the MotoGP games. Everyone's saying that this Ride game is supposed to be really good, so I'll have a look. If it's got a demo, I'll have a go. Number 4, The Return of a Great. Although it's not been so great in the last few years. Need for Speed have got a game coming out later this year. Yeah, great. It is supposed to be one hell of a game.
What's it called?
It's called Need for Speed 2015 because they haven't released the title of it. So
does it give any details on it?
We don't know what the premise is. No one knows.
Any money, it's going to be shite, but I'm going to get it because I'm a Need for Speed fan.
I think they've taken a year out. It could work. I think taking a year out is what they needed. They're saying that it's supposed to be probably the best looking game that they've created in a very long time.
That's understandable.
So you know what it's going to have in there, don't you? Porsche.
You know what else it's going to have in there?
Ferrari.
Nope.
MG.
Maybe. But no, next.
Come on, I don't know.
Godzilla.
Number 3 is what people are looking forward to is F1 2015. Everyone's looking forward to this.
Michael Richard Keating. I'm going to indulge and purchase this.
It's going to take you so long to get used to it, though. You're going to go, mate, there's no traction control.
Why can't I drift, man?
You're going to go, oh, drifting. Mikey, you've lost a second. No, but I'm drifting. Number 2, a game that we still don't know if it's coming out this year. It will probably be next year. But it's a game that everyone who's a PS4 racing simulator fan or a PlayStation race has got a special place. I know you don't like the game, but Gran Turismo 7 is coming out soon. You're not getting it because pussy all. But I do have high hopes for GT7. It's on a new console, got a new engine, being made by Polyphony Digital, who admittedly they dropped the ball on GT5. GT6 was a good game. I like GT6, but there's still aspects of GT6 that they need to improve. I was on it yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
But the number 1 game that everyone's looking forward to, and it's coming out in the 2nd of April. We've mentioned it so many times before.
Project Cars!
Project Cars, people. I'm not going to talk about it because that's all I wanted to say.
Really, with Project Cars, just go on YouTube and search the development diary.
Don't need to do anything now. All we can do now, people. It's the 8th of March. We've got 25 days. I'm on half term when it comes out.
I'm off
Ching.
Yes, I'll be. Is it on what day is it coming out?
Thursday. It won't come out on Friday because it's Good Friday on the 3rd.
Yes.
So, well done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have a game that comes out on a Thursday.
For what? No, the last game I know that came out on a Thursday.
Not
FIFA.
Oh yeah,
FIFA 15.
FIFA 15.
And if you look at the time, me and Jack were actually in both pictures that they put up on Twitter.
In the game Birkenhead store.
Mm-hmm.
But people, that's it for the podcast this week. I don't think I need to mention anything else. No, apart from the fact that the Mexican rally's going on right now.
Oh, and that thingy decided to take his Fiesta for a swim.
That was flipping scary as hell, that crap. Ot Tanak, who I've always liked as a driver, ended up plunging in 5 metres below into a flipping ravine, which was a bloody scary accident to have. But he's fine.
10 hours underwater, and then...
do you know how quickly the M Sport team got that car?
3 hours.
3 hours. That's
bloody
amazing.
Ken Blocks, and congratulations.
3 hours to get... And then it died. But, yeah. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow Mikey at
Mikey Keating XD. If you want to follow Jack on Twitter,
it's JackTM53. You can follow Moggy at Lewis_Moggy.
If you want to follow our apprentice, Mr. Morris, you can find him in a Tesco near you.
or you can follow him at Street in Greasby. You can
preferably buy up the Mackies, but you know, getting there.
Like us on Facebook. I've started to update that a little bit more. Subscribe, comment, just watch. I'd be happy with you just watching. Mikey obviously wants you to comment, but I'd be happy with people just watching.
Yeah. Same here. And I love the subscribes. You know, you enjoy it. It's, you know, at the end of the day, we only do this for the shit.
We do it for fun. So, people, thanks very much for listening. It's
goodbye, you beautiful people.
And we've been the S Team.